and I'm using Givenchy Mr. Smooth. You can see. I know that you can find this at like Sephora, although I only have found this one at like the one that's in Fashion Valley in San Diego, near where I live. Other than that, you can find it online. Some of the stuff that you find at Sephora, just like any other store, if it's a bigger store, they'll carry more stuff. If it's a smaller Sephora, they'll only carry certain things. So just beware. So I'm going to apply this into the nose. The reason why I love this primer so much is because it covers, or it fills the pores so it looks so nice and smooth, but it's non-comedogenic, so it doesn't mean it's going to clog the pores. It just means it's just a makeup. It's just going to make everything look more flawless. And you can already see what my skincare is doing, just like where the light's hitting. All the nice luminosity that it's giving my skin naturally. So I'm going to wait for that to set, and then I'm going to start with my foundation. I'll be right back. So there's that. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, so there we go. So now what I'm actually going to do is I'm using another skin-based foundation from Illamasqua, only it's white. And what that is meant to do, and I'll show you how it looks like. It's like a white foundation. It's not white face paint at all. It just means looks exactly like this but white. So let's say I'm a darker shade during summertime and I need a lighter shade during winter. I mix this in with it and voila, you have your foundation. But what I like to use this for is actually to highlight, because it does the same. It makes this area lighter without it being so crazy. And then what I'm going to do on top of that is put an illuminating highlighter, so it's even more dramatic. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm working it all the way here, and then I'm going to work it down here. And then I'm actually going to put some here. And I like to work it on the bottom of my lip, especially after I just put on lipstick. And what that does is just make you look more perky, like you look like a doll. So I'm going to work that in there. And you'll start to notice that it's going to start blending really easily. What this is just doing is just adding more dimension to the top of the cheek. And I don't know if you can already kind of tell. This is a famous look that Kim Kardashian came out with when they took a picture of her in Twitter. She came out like this, only she had powder on top of that, which I'm guessing is the deluxe powder, or they call it the banana powder, but in a different color. They probably had just a regular translucent powder that was white to set it, so it was even more dramatic. But yeah, so as you can kind of see, it's going to take me a little bit to work that in. So I'm just going to work that into the skin, and I'll be right back and I'll show you my final result. So that's how it looks. I kind of did it in a max formation, so I kind of blended this, I blended this all the way up and then up into the tear duct area, just so that area is highlighted as well, just naturally. And then just a tiny bit, just right here. You also don't want to put white everywhere, because then it defeats the purpose of highlighting, because what else is going to show, what's going to show your natural skin. And then I just applied just a little bit here, and then on the bottom of my lip. So what I do now, which is very important, is I'll grab my HD powder and I'll put that in the areas that I put the white foundation, just so that way when I put my regular powder on the bottom, if you were to grab your regular powder and put it all over, it would just defeat the purpose of just highlighting. So I'm going to do that, and what I'm actually going to do is kind of place it. You can see the dust. Now, you could just put this all over, you could, but what I like to do is really define the color difference. So what I'm going to do is just grab my face powder, from Sephora, which is, I love this face powder. I've used every possible face powder. I've used Too Faced, Makeup Forever, Givenchy. I've used so there's that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is grab my bronzer. I'm gonna be using Hoola, and I'm trying to find my brush. Okay, so I'm using Hoola from Benefit. You can see it. There you go. And I'm grabbing this brush. It's number 133. It's specifically for contouring, and they sell these at Sephora, only they don't sell the pink handle ones anymore. You have to buy the one that comes in a black handle, wooden, which is, it's fine, but it works really good. Now, the trick with contouring is you're not going to want to start here and then go up and down, which what we do normally. What you're going to want to do with contouring is have a focal point. So usually your focal point would be right here, and then you're just going to want to work it down. Because the main concentration of color would be here, and then you're going to want to feather it down. So you can already see what side is looking thinner. It's giving me more dimension, whereas this one's just like chunkier. So I don't know if you guys can see. So this side has no dimension, and this side's already starting to get it. I typically like a lot of blush because I am so fair. And I'm using matte. I just prefer mattes. You can substitute whatever products. These are my personal favorites. So there we go. I'm gonna do one side so you guys can see the difference. So there you go. If you guys can see the difference, it's a huge difference. Okay, so then what you would do next is you would grab your blush. You can skip this step out if you just want to do like a bronze contour whatever look, but I don't know, I didn't add it. It's just going to lift up everything more. I'm using Illamasqua's blush. It's called Beg. And it's amazing. This blush their blushes are just so nice when you feel it anyways. Or when you feel it, and then it applies onto your foundation so nicely. So I'm using brush number 55. It's an airbrush, regular powder brush, and it works amazing to put on blush. I feel like the typical blush brush that you would use on an everyday basis, people abuse it and do this with it, and it gives you big old fat marks. So I've stopped using that, and I've been using this. So, and the reason why is because when I'm helping my clients, I want to show them the correct way to apply a blush. So typically, when you have already contoured, you're gonna apply it here, and then I'll kind of work it up, just so you don't. There you go. You have that. Versus this side, and you can see it's a dramatic, like this side looks chunky and then this side looks all just defined. Now what I'm gonna do is grab my High Beam highlighter from Benefit, and you're gonna see a huge difference. I already have a natural luminosity because of the skincare that I use, but I'm gonna even enhance it with this. So you would want to apply it here. And right now, okay, it's kind of blurry. I don't know if you guys can see. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let me zoom in. There you go. And then I actually like to apply this in a C formation. You can kind of see. Up and down. And then you can definitely see the differences. Let me block out this light. You can really see the huge difference it makes. So that's what I like to do. I'm just going to do the other side very quickly. Let me unzoom. I'm going to do the other side really quickly, do my lips so that you guys can see the final results. And then I'm going to do my nose and just my lips so you guys can see that as well. Alright, be right back. Now with the fluffy brush, it's actually a blending brush from Sephora, number 27. I'm grabbing Hoola again. And you're going to see me. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I'm just going to blend it down. And that just makes my nose super thinner than what it actually is. So, other side. So I am just gonna put on some lipstick and I will be right back. Okay, so this is my finished look. Typically, after all of this and lips, I would do some eyeshadow, but right now I'm just concentrating on contouring. And there you go. You can really see the dimension. You can really see that I grabbed the color and worked it down. Now again, this is for my face shape. I wouldn't say if you had a rounder face to do the same thing. The technique varies with each person. This is what I like personally. So use this as your tool, just a way for you to branch off of it. Have a nice day.